Alright, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, the Renegade Enigma. Happy New Year to all of y'all. As I'm recording this, it is January 2nd, 2026. And you are listening to the Smack That podcast. Basically, all I do is review episodes of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. And basically, I'll give you my opinion, my twist, and all my thoughts on like the episode that just came on. So yeah, let's get into it. So we start the show, and Michael Cole welcomes us to the show, and he tells us that it is a 3-hour show. So we're returning straight back into 3 hours. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoy SmackDown 3 hours. Comment wherever if you enjoy it or not, whatever. But let me know if you enjoy the 3-hour SmackDowns or not. Anyway, after that, he basically goes to a video package, and it's basically retelling us everything that's going on between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion or whatever the hell. But yeah, and we go back and see Drew basically picks the stipulation of their match being 3 stages of hell. For those of you that don't know what a 3 stages of hell is, it's more or less a 2 out of 3 falls match. However, every fall is a different stipulation. And apparently tonight, Drew is going to tell us the stipulations of each fall. Then they show the superstars coming to the arena. First they showed Cody, then they showed Alexa, that being Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They showed Rio, which is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They showed Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Again, I don't know about y'all, but Lash Legend is going to be a star in my eyes. Like, she has everything. She has charisma, she has power, she's beautiful. So yeah, she's gonna be a star. My only pet peeve, if you're gonna put her on a team with Nia Jax, give them a name, because they're trying to go for the tag team titles. So you might as well just give them a name and whatever, and like have them write it out for a while. I doubt they're gonna win the tag team titles. They're gonna separate way before that. Lash Legend, I believe, is made for singles competition. Nia Jax too, but you know, they wanted to put them together, so that's a thing. Name them, make them a team. You can say the same thing about Charlexa, which that's the name the fans gave them, and Rio, because that's the name the fans gave them too. I think they once in a while call themselves that too, but nothing official. All 3 of these teams need something official. Like, look at the tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. That's a proper team. But I digress. Speaking of Kabuki Warriors, they were next coming into the arena, so that's a thing. And the reason they showed all 4 of these teams is because there's going to be an 8-woman tag, which I must have misunderstood or something like that, because I could have sworn it was going to be a 4-way, like a 4-way tag team match, but it is what it is. So apparently you're going to have the Kabuki Warriors teaming up with Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And then on the flip side, you're going to have Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and they're teaming up with Charlotte and Alexa. After that, they show Damian Priest come into the arena, and they talk about his match later on, which is actually the main event, and it is Damian Priest versus Aleister Black in an ambulance match. And good lord, I hope after this, I hope this feud is over, because I'm over it. Like, it was cool at first, but like, I don't see the point to this. Like, it looks like the whole thing that Zelina Vega and Aleister Black want Damian to join them, but he's not joining them. Like, so what's the point? You know, like, Damian Priest is gonna be solo. Like, who cares? Like, I would have liked it, like them have a squad, and like Damian Priest has a heel turn, because him as a face, I'm not liking. I don't like him as a face. I find him really boring. Which, by the way, like, the next people to come to the arena were Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, so we had that. And finally, the show officially starts. Michael Cole again welcomes us to the show, and his partner is not Wade Barrett, as it usually has been for like a while now. It's actually Corey Graves, which, okay, I'm fine with that. Anyway, they're talking, hyping up the show, because again, it is 3 hours once again. When out of nowhere, they get interrupted. At first, I couldn't tell who it was, but it wound up being The Miz. And The Miz is pissed off because, according to him, he got really disrespected in 2025. So, he wants things to be different in 2026. So that's the thing. So he's in the ring and he's basically running down all his grievances with 2025. Number one being John Cena's last match at Saturday Night Main Event, where all he wanted to do is have a match and participate and whatever. And according to him, they didn't even give him that. I'm okay with that because at least they gave him a moment with Joe Henry and R-Truth. So that was the thing. At least he was a part of it, because, it'll be bad if he wasn't part of it at all, because he was a big part of John Cena's career. So that's the thing. He ends that one by saying he should have been the one to tap Cena out, which, no. Had it been him to face Cena, he would have tapped out and Cena would have won. A lot of people would have liked that. All his fans would have liked that. Not that I'm not a John Cena fan, he was good and whatever. It just, he went out the right way. He lost. So that's the thing. But no, Miz, this was wrong. So he goes on to grievance number 2, and that being the fact that all these young superstars are ungrateful because he tried to help them and whatnot. He didn't quite say who, but for example, I would say Carmelo Hayes and whatnot, because they were Melo Don't Miz. And according to him, Melo and people like Melo were ungrateful because he tried to help them. Grievance number 3 was the fact that he got passed over for some movie role. I didn't care about that. Who cares? Anyway, moving on to grievance number 4. He's upset with Joe Henry, which he didn't say his name, but he called him he who shall not be named, because you say his name and he'll appear type of thing. So he stayed away from that. And he's upset that he lost his last match in 2025 when they had that Christmas street fight or whatever the hell it was supposed to be. And all his friends were there, R-Truth, the Alpha Academy and all that stuff. So yeah, Miz is pissed off about that too. And he's also pissed off that Joe Henry brought back the nickname from a while ago that someone gave him, which is Tiny Balls. Personally, I gave 2 shits about this. It was funny the first time, but I could care less about the Tiny Balls joke and whatever. Nah, y'all. Don't do this. Don't go back to that. It's stupid. No. Make fun of him for anything else, but not the Tiny Balls bullshit. It's done. Don't go back to that. I even forgot that was a thing. I forgot who even started this shit with him. So yeah, it's 2026. Let's not do the Tiny Balls thing anymore. Anyway, he says there's one thing he's happy about, and it's the fact that John Cena is no longer around. So, he goes into the whole you can't see me thing, and we don't want to see him, according to Miz. So yeah, he says that if he has a new face and whatever, and apparently it's him. Mind you, he's been here more than 10 years. I'd say more probably 15 or something like that. So I don't see how he's a new face, but whatever Miz has to say. And he does a typical heel thing, run down the city sports team, how they don't win championships and he does. So yeah, when's the last time Miz has had a championship, y'all? You remember that, comment. Anyway, he continues to run down the town and run down the locker room when out of nowhere, and ironically enough I say out of nowhere, we get the long awaited return of the Viper, the apex predator, Randy Orton. And as his music hits, you see the fear of God in Miz's eyes, oh shit, what just happened? Anyway, the crowd is going nuts for Randy. Everyone's ecstatic to see him back. Everyone's happy. Randy's happy to be back, he's looking at the crowd wow, they still love me type of thing. And he takes a while to get to the ring. Finally gets to the ring and he kind of scares Miz, pretends he's gonna hit the RKO. Miz jumps up and Randy's dog, I was just messing with you. He's kind of pretending they're cool and whatnot. So yeah, as of right now, Miz and Randy are cool. Anyway, after a long while of Randy celebrating with the crowd, playing with the crowd and all that, and Miz like catching his composure and whatever. Like he's cool now because he thinks him and Randy are cool. Yeah, like music goes off and Miz hypes up the crowd, tells him to like yell louder for Randy and whatever. Like, come on, let me hear you and all that stuff. So yeah, like we all know Miz is gonna catch it. So that's the thing. The crowd starts chanting RKO, RKO, RKO. The Miz is like, not me, not me. So like he definitely doesn't want to get hit by that shit. Which we all know he's gonna get hit by that shit. So yeah. Anyway, he tells Randy it's good to have you back. And Randy like basically tells him thank you and, you know, gives him a fist bump. Again, they're still cool as of right now. And as always, Miz is kissing up to Randy and all that, hyping him up, talking about how they're both the locker room leaders, they're the adults of the room, and blah blah blah, all that shit, you know. And then he said they can maybe become a tag team. And that's always Miz's thing and whatever. And he names a tag team. And it sounds like something I would come up with. You used to listen to my old podcast with my homie Viral Viper and whatever, like my former co-host. Yeah, like I always used to come up with, you know, names for tag teams or whatever. But Miz says they should become Miz KO. And funny enough, Randy seems to like it. The fans are booing, and he's basically doing the hand symbol like, guys, calm down, I like it. He like looks at one side, then he turns to the other side and tells them to calm down. As soon as he does that, whack! RKO, Miz is done. Which is why I mentioned the irony of me saying out of nowhere earlier in the show. Anyway, the fans start chanting one more time, one more time, one more time. And Randy's still hyped, so he lifts up Miz and whack! Gets him once again with the RKO. It's in the corner, does his pose as always, music comes on, and yeah, that's the end of the segment right there. So after this, we transition backstage to the Kabuki Warriors. When out of nowhere, once again with the out of nowhere thing, Nia Jax and Lash Legend show up. And they're straight up talking shit, talking their trash and whatnot, saying how they had them beat last week, and how, sure, they're gonna win this 8-man or 8-woman, but then after that, they're going for their title. And Asuka's basically like, alright, bet. After we beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky on the next episode of Raw, you got next. It's on, but don't be mad when we beat you. Anyway, the Kabuki Warriors walk off, and then we transition back to the ring where Io Sky is making her entrance. So the match is next. Anyway, obviously, after Io made her entrance, Rhea comes to the ring, and then we go to commercial. I say this because when we come back, we are backstage with Randy, and he's walking backstage, and he bumps into Cody. Now, we all know what's gonna happen eventually. It's a long time coming. We know this man is gonna turn on Cody, which at this point apparently is his best friend and whatever, and beat the holy hell out of Cody. We all know this, we all see it. It's a long time coming. It should have happened sometime last year, but it didn't. So they're saving it for 2026, so we have that. Anyway, Randy lets him know, like, listen dog, like, after you beat Drew next week in Berlin, which by the way, I didn't even know that match was so soon. Like, it's as soon as next week. As soon as you beat Drew next week, I got next. I'm coming for that title. So he flat out told him he's coming for him. And Cody has a face, like, a look in his face like, damn it, man. So he should not be surprised when Randy eventually turns on him. So, yeah. Randy walks off, and then General Manager Nick Aldis walks up to Cody and lets him know, listen, Drew's gonna be here tonight. And I gotta remind you, dog, I've known you for years. We're friends and all that. However, if you laid even one finger on Drew before your match in Berlin next week, bro, I'm gonna have to strip you of the title. Like, that's the rule. And you know damn well he's gonna try to piss you off. He's gonna try and goat you to do it. So please, for your sake, keep cool. Don't let him get to you. Don't let him get in your head. Because that's exactly what he wants to do. Because again, if you touch him, I'm taking the title off of you. Just that simple. Cody's like, dog, I'm good. Like, I'm chill. You ain't gotta worry. Like, he ain't gonna do anything. So we transition back in the ring where all the ladies are in the ring already, and we're like at the end of Nia Jax's and Lash Legend's entrance. Then after that, we get the champions. The Kabuki Warriors make their entrance. Anyway, the faces are trying to decide who's going to start the match when out of nowhere, they all get ambushed by the heels. Match starts and your two legal women are Asuka and Rhea Ripley. Asuka's beating the hell out of Rhea Ripley, but then Rhea gets the second win, tosses Asuka out the ring. Kairi tries to attack her. He gets thrown off the ring too. Then you have Alexa Bliss ask for the tag, and Rhea seemed a little bit hesitant and whatever, like, I don't trust you, yo, like, you know, like, they don't really, like, mess with each other like that, you know, but they all want the tag team titles. Anyway, she gives her the tag, eventually, after, like, maybe, like, 3-4 seconds of, like, thinking about it, and Alexa hits the crossbody on the Kabuki Warriors on the outside of the ring. Excuse me, not a crossbody, she did, like, a flip type of move. At that point, we go to commercial, and when we come back, we have Alexa beating Asuka. But then the referee gets distracted by Asuka. Kairi runs to the ring and hurts Alexa, and Asuka once again gets the upper hand. Asuka gives Kairi the tag, and now Kairi is beating Alexa. Alexa pushes Kairi into the wrong corner, and Nia kind of forced the tag and whatever, so now she's the legal woman in the ring. Seemed like there was some deception there, because Asuka seemed kind of angry about that, so yeah, like, none of these teams are gonna get along. Anyway, Nia tags in Lash, and like, she starts putting the beat down on Alexa. We go to commercial as Alexa continues to get the beat down. But when we come back from commercial, Alexa gets her second win, and like, she beats up Lash Legend and Nia Jax, who then tags in Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair actually hits a crossbody, because I got it wrong earlier. He hits a crossbody on Lash Legend and Nia Jax. She actually got the better of them, had a ton of offense. At one point, he hit the natural selection on Nia Jax, which I believe she could have pinned her right there and then, but she was like, nah, and decided to go on the top rope and hit a moonsault. Mind you, even the announcer pointed out, he was like really slow going up there, so she took her sweet ass time getting on the top rope. She went for the pin, and obviously, she didn't win the match yet. She was doing good, that is until she went for a roll up on Nia Jax, and Nia Jax just caught her with a leg drop, boom, and like, they turned the tide. Nia tags in Asuka, but then Charlotte gets the best of her and puts the figure 8 on her. However, she was way too close to her corner, tagged in Kairi with Charlotte not noticing, and Kairi hit the insane elbow while Charlotte was arched in the figure 8. Now, apparently some controversy here, because I could have sworn Asuka tagged in Kairi, but apparently she didn't, because as soon as Kairi went for the pin on Charlotte, Alexa Bliss runs in and throws her out the ring, and Michael Cole points out Asuka and Alexa are still the legal women. So maybe I got it wrong, but I could have sworn she tagged in, because yeah, she was right there. Like, she could have easily tagged. Charlotte gets tagged to Io Sky, the hot tag, if you will, and she starts to beat the hell out of her former Damage Control sisters, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. And I just gotta say, Io is like one of the best women in this women's division. Like, she is quick. Like, the way she gets out the top rope, like, it's no wonder they call her the Genius of the Sky. Like, that's not just a catchy, like, catchphrase or nickname and whatnot. She actually is, like, the Genius of the Sky. Like, she does wonders off the top rope. Anyway, Io and Rhea do the little Io taunt with pointing at themselves and all that. They're celebrating, where Io tried to go for the tag, but then Nia Jax pulls Rhea off the apron and basically throws her in the guardrail, like stopping all that. Asuka once again gets the upper hand on Io, throws her into the ropes, tries to do the rope move that she always does, where she hits you with her backside and all that. She missed. Io tries to come back from that. However, she missed Lash Legend getting the tag over Asuka, so she is the legal woman. So Io does a springboard move and gets kicked right in the face, pump kick style, by the bougie bully Lash Legend. She goes for the pin, but Io got hurt. He kicked out of that. Like, I thought it was done right there and then. Like, I thought she straight up knocked her out. So, props to Io for kicking out of that. We go to commercial again, and when we come back, Lash is continuing the beatdown on Io. He goes to the corner, tags in Nia Jax. Nia once again pins Io, but once again, she kicks out. Nia at one point mocks Io and does her taunt. They keep on with the beatdown, keep trying to pin her, but still she kicks out, showing the fight in her and determination and all that. So Nia finally tags in Asuka, and then Asuka starts to beat down on Io. So Io has been getting her ass kicked here for a while now. So that's the thing. Asuka tags in Kairi Sane, and they did this cool neckbreaker move that to me looked similar to Dakota Kai's chiropractor finisher, but in double team move, or rather double team version. Now, whether or not that was done purposely, like it was a shout out to her or whatever, because she was a founding member of Damage Control, who knows? But like, that's the way I saw it. You know, that's the way it looked to me. But then they messed up. They tried to do this move, and again, like, I'm just comparing to what it could have been, and to me it looked similar to DIY's, you know, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa's meet in the middle, where the person's in the middle of the ring and Johnny would be in one corner and Tommaso would be in the other corner and do two moves simultaneously. That's what it looked like Asuka and Kairi were about to do. However, Io moved and they hit each other. Like, they collided with each other. Kairi Sane tried to stop the tag, but got pushed off. Then Asuka beat up Alexa and Charlotte. But once again, Io got her, at this point, probably like, what, 6th, 7th wind? And finally, got the hot tag and tagged in Rhea Ripley. Now, Rhea was basically beating Kabuki Warriors' asses on her own. She's about to hit the Riptide on Kairi when Asuka distracted the ref, letting Nia Jax attack her. However, at this point, Charlotte Flair got back up. She super kicked someone. Then Asuka kicked her. Then Alexa Bliss, Sister Abigail'd her. Lash Legend punched her. And then Rhea hit a drop kick. Kairi jumped off the top rope as Rhea was looking right at her, which I don't know why you would do that. Rhea caught her, held her like a baby, headbutted her, and then hit Riptide. At this point, Io got back up, asked for the tag, Rhea tagged her in, and Io hits over the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Your winner. The faces: Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. We cut to the back and we see Nick Aldis talking to somebody. He says he wants 2026 to be big for SmackDown, and he wants this person signed to SmackDown. This person, none other than Jordynne Grace. So it seems like we have a ton of free agents right now. We have Jordynne Grace right now. Last week it was Javon Evans and Trick Williams. Seems like they're hinting at Obafemi being a free agent, even though he's a champion, and probably a few more out there. So just be ready for like a big 2026, y'all. Anyhow, Jordynne Grace really didn't say yes or no. She just said she has a lot to consider, and she basically got cut off. She got cut off by Chelsea Green, and she's upset because she has to defend later on in the night her WWE United States Women's United States title against the person she beat, Giulia. And you know, she's complaining, bitching, moaning, and all this shit. How she doesn't want to do it. It's unfair. Blah, blah, blah. He basically says how Jordynne Grace is not important and whatever. She needs to leave because she's way more important because she's the champion. She seems to have pissed off Jordynne Grace. And she said something to the effect of, some people made the decision way more easier. So she may choose SmackDown just to beat up Chelsea Green, which may or may not be for the United States title. We'll get into it later when that match happens. Oh, and throwaway line here, Chelsea Green has a reference to Stranger Things in the final and all that. I don't know about y'all, I didn't watch it. I stopped watching Stranger Things around season 2, I want to say. 1 or 2, you know. It really wasn't my thing. Sorry, call me lame. Wasn't my thing. But she was like how emotional it was, so yeah. Anyway, she's still trying to convince him that she should not wrestle. And he basically tells her, you don't wrestle, I'm gonna strip you the title. So it's either wrestle or you're no longer the champion. So you decide. And she leaves, she's upset because he has to wrestle. So yeah, can't wait for that. Anyhow, after that we transition back to the ring. And it was this weird entrance, weird music I've never heard before. If he had this music before, like, wow, I may not have been paying attention. But apparently, it's Kit Wilson. Formerly, I'm just saying formally, because it seems like they're broken up as of right now, of Pretty Deadly. Like, he's doing his own thing right now. He's doing singles and all that. And I don't know, y'all. It's something about this cat that I like. Whether or not he's gonna like be a star or whatever, I don't know. Hopefully he's featured more so like I could decide, but like something about him I like. Anyhow, he's getting ready for a match that Nick Aldis set up last week because Kit Wilson said he wanted a chance. So he told him he's gonna give him a chance at someone he's never met before. Funny enough, last week when this happened, right after he said that and we transitioned, we got an Obafemi promo. So I could have sworn it was going to be Obafemi. But no. It was not Obafemi. So we come back from commercial and Kit's in the middle of the ring and he's talking about, he's doing his whole spiel about being toxic. And as he's doing all this, he gets cut off by music. And you hear, woo, woo, woo. You know it. But then the music gets messed up. You think it's Zack Ryder, right? No. But then it says, always ready. That is Zack Ryder. It's Matt Cardona. Same person, different gimmick. Like it's actually him. Like his real name is Matt Cardona. So yeah. So we actually have Matt Cardona in the WWE right now. And surprise, surprise, he's signed to SmackDown. So we have an actual, I guess, call-up, draft pick or something like that because he was formerly part of TNA. And y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. Sounds like he has totally new music from what he used in the indies. Michael Cole pointed out last time we saw him, he was in the Last Time Is Now tournament. However, he was Zack Ryder at the time. But now, all of a sudden, he is Matt Cardona. Now, obviously, Cardona won because it's his debut, whatever you want to call it. However, it wasn't just like a regular squash. Kit Wilson pulled off a lot of offense to the point where he hit a move and Michael Cole actually said the name of it. I guess it's his finisher. I believe he said it's called a tourniquet. You know, Kit Wilson tourniquet. There you go. To me, it resembled a Twist of Fate type of move. So yeah. But yeah, all in all, Cardona hit his finisher, which Michael Cole called the Rough Rider. And Corey kind of called him on it because it's only called the Rough Rider when he's Zack Ryder. When he's Matt Cardona, it's called Radio Silence. So I don't know if they're keeping the Rough Rider name for his finisher. Like they're keeping some parts of Ryder in this. So yeah, that's a thing to watch out for later. We come back from commercial once again. And Michael Cole and Corey Graves are running down what's going to happen on Monday. And it looked like they was going to transition into a package or whatever for the show. But instead, we got interrupted by the Wyatt Six with their promo. And obviously, they're talking about the MFTs. The whole promo is basically about which one of the teams is actually family and what does family mean and all this stuff. Now, the weirdest part to me is I could have sworn this match was going to be like tonight. I actually thought it was promoted for tonight, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's for next week. Anyway, back in the arena, and we get Sami Zayn's entrance. Now he's out there to cut a promo, and he talks about how he was in the crowd for John Cena's last match with his son. And his son asked him, Dad, why do they call John Cena the Never Seen 17? And it was funny as hell because you hear somebody in the crowd like yell it out really loud, because you can't see him. Hilarious. Like you had to like really pay attention to that shit. But, Sammy replied to his son apparently and told him because he's a 17-time world champion. Like he holds the record. And apparently his son turns to him and asks him, Dad, how many times have you won it? And in my mind, I'm like, damn, this is part of the storyline. But if that was for real, they had to fucking hurt. Anyway, he tells his son 0, which is true. He has not won the big one at all yet. He should have won it last year, but that's besides the point. But yeah, anyway, he goes into it and whatever. And y'all know the point to this. He's gonna try to go for the big one finally. Go for the WWE World Championship since he's on SmackDown. So he's going after Cody. Once again, another one of Cody's friends going after him. Anyway, he gets cut off by Trick Williams' music. So apparently, Trick chose SmackDown. Now, if you ask me, he should have chose Raw, because you have Carmelo Hayes here. And, they were boys back in NXT and all that. They had a feud, and Trick was always in Carmelo's shadow, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like they should put them back together or whatever in any way. Whether they're feuding or they're boys again. They should separate them. Let Trick shine, because ever since Carmelo left NXT, Trick been shining. Like he's been doing his thing, So keep them separate. Don't let one outshine the other. Because right now Carmelo Hayes is United States champion, so he's doing his thing. So why make them feud? Have them both be separate and be stars onto their own. But apparently they're doing it, whatever. Another thing I understand, WWE really does not like separating couples. And Lash Legend, as I mentioned earlier, she had a great match on the show. That's his fiance. So WWE likes to keep couples together. So that's probably why they put him on SmackDown. Anyway, Trick is talking his shit to Sammy, talking about how he's better than him, how he's going to be the champion, how he's going to be the face of SmackDown, and blah, blah, blah. And he keeps interrupting Sammy when Sammy tries to reply. Sammy's like, are you done? And he basically tells him, you're right. You have all of it. You have the looks. You're great in the ring. But the one thing you don't have, you haven't been humbled yet. So apparently Sammy's gonna humble Trick. So that's Trick's first feud on SmackDown. So that's gonna be kind of cool. Anyway, when all that's over with, they go back to last week. And ironically enough, I just brought it up and whatever. How Carmelo Hayes beat Dragunov for the United States title last week. It is his first title on the main roster. You see the weird foreshadowing they're doing there? Like, we just had a segment with Trick, and now we have a segment with Carmelo. After they show all that, we transition backstage with Carmelo walking backstage with the belt, and Dragunov basically tells him Happy New Year, and he congratulates him. He basically tells Carmelo, like, I ain't mad I lost, like, the better man won, I respect you, I just have a feeling one day we're gonna meet each other again in the ring. Then, he says, listen, are you gonna keep the United States Open Challenge open? Carmelo says once he puts Johnny Gargano's jersey in the Raptors, meaning when he beats him, yes, he's gonna keep it open. So probably next week or the week after, expect the United States Open Challenge to happen again. But Carmelo also made a point of telling him, whenever you're ready to run it back, let's do the thing. Anyway, Carmelo walks away, and funny enough, he's smiling because he sees the Miz. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, at the beginning, Carmelo don't Miz and all that stuff, how Miz was talking shit and all that. He told Miz, I was hoping I would bump into you, because if it wasn't for you, this would never happen. So I just want to thank you. Miz got all happy, you finally come to your senses, you're thanking me. And then Melo replies with, thank you for leaving me alone, because I've been better ever since. And he laughs and just walks away. And Miz just has a disgusted look on his face, you motherfucker. So yeah, Melo is preparing to go to the ring for his match against Johnny Gargano. And we transition back to the arena where Johnny's actually making his entrance. Small interesting thing here. So Johnny Gargano is part of DIY with Tommaso Ciampa. They had got brand new crappy music by Def Leppard, or what is it, Def Rebel, whatever, Def Rebel it is. All of a sudden, they come to NXT, and him being Gargano, and Ciampa have a tag team match, and they both get their old solo music, which is Rebel Heart for Johnny, and No One Will Survive for Tommaso. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think somewhere down the line they got their tag team music back, but it was, no one really paid attention to it like that. But tonight, his heel music came back, which is the one that he used when he was the leader of The Way. So if I'm correct, which correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny has brought back all his themes in WWE. So after we come back from commercial, we have Nick Aldis talking to Phoenix, talking about how it's going to be a great 2026 for Phoenix. But then they get interrupted by Trick. Trick is pissed off from what happened earlier with Sammy, and he feels Sammy disrespected him. Meanwhile, in Spanish, Nick Aldis and Phoenix are talking, and Phoenix tells Aldis that the new guy's gotta learn respect. Trick is like, "What you say?" And he repeats it back to him, but he repeats it back in English. So Trick and Phoenix is about to get into it when Aldis tells Trick, "You know what? Sammy was right. You need to be humbled. You need to learn respect. So next week, we're gonna have your debut in the ring on SmackDown, and your first opponent is gonna be against Rey Fenix." And Trick was cool with it. He's like, "That's exactly what I wanted." We go back to the arena, and then they show footage of last week when after Carmelo won the title, he got attacked by Johnny Gargano. Basically the whole cause of this match right now. As Melo got in the ring, Johnny went for the cheap shot, but Melo saw it coming and basically started to beat his ass. Now Melo's beating his ass, that is until Johnny gets Candice, his wife, and puts her in the way. And of course Melo's not going to hit her, but basically that causes a distraction, and basically Johnny gets the advantage, and yeah, he starts to beat Melo's ass after that. Now at this point, Johnny's beating Melo's ass. At one point, he even distracts the ref to have his wife Candice beat up Melo behind the referee's back. It's basically a 2-on-1 situation. Johnny starts to get cocky and starts to mock Melo by doing a jump shot. Johnny was beating his ass for a good few minutes and whatever, but eventually Carmelo started to fight back. But yeah, then Carmelo starts to beat Johnny's ass for a while. But then Johnny comes back. So this match is a good back and forth. This was a good long match. And it ended when Carmelo hit the first 48 and nothing but net combination. But this match was really good. Like, at a certain point, I didn't even care who won. Anyway, once again, we transition to the back, and we have Tama Tonga watching the match in the monitor. He goes to walk off, and he's confronted by none other than Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, if you don't know, they have history back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Anyhow, Nakamura says something to Tama, but he says it in Japanese. So, like, unless you know Japanese, you have no idea what the hell he said. But Tama replied to him in Japanese. But then Nakamura walks away, and you have the mob boss, Solo Sikoa, behind Tama. And he's like, "Everything okay?" I don't know, y'all. Like, Solo Sikoa is very entertaining. Like, if you watch him, like, in backstage stuff, or behind the scenes stuff, or house show stuff, he's really entertaining. But this gimmick is killing him. Like, he doesn't have the vibe as a mob boss. Like, just let him be him. You know, he's basically acting in a role that he can't do. He can't pull this off. And it's not his fault. It's just that he's trying to push something on him that's not for him. Anyway, Tama tells him it's all good. But yeah, what we're going to do about the Wyatt set. And this is where Solo basically announces next week's match. Which again, I swore was going to be on this show. But Solo tells Tama, like, the guys are outside, let's leave Buffalo, because they're in Buffalo, New York. And Tama's about to go with him, but then he hesitates and looks back, I guess at Nakamura. Like, whatever Nakamura said had Tama think, like, he may be right, whatever he said. So after the commercial break, we come back and we get a promo from Aleister Black and Zelina. And basically, they're talking about how they're going to win the match, and more or less verbatim, Damian Priest is going to change forever and more or less join them. That's what they're trying to say. Like, he's going to join them. Because, like, he can't beat them. After this, we have an interview with WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill. And they ask her, listen, you just recently had a match against Mi Chin in a live event, basically a house show, where she maintained a shoulder injury. Now, I ask you, did you hurt her on purpose? Now, normally you'll get the typical answer like, no, I didn't mean to hurt her or him or whatever, you know? That's their dumbass fault. They hurt themselves. Nah. Jade flat out said, yeah, I meant to hurt her. And what? Who's gonna stop it? What you gonna do about it? What's anybody gonna do about it? Can't stop me. Anyway, then she gets confronted by Jordynne Grace, and she's basically still trying to weigh her options, and Jade Cargill tells her, yo, you better sign somewhere else, cause this is my show. Like, ain't shit you could do here. Like, this is my show. Cause I'm that bitch. That's exactly what she said. And Jordynne Grace says, well, I'm Jordynne Grace, but you're definitely one of those. Which leads me to think Jordan isn't cursed, and she could have called her a bitch. That shit was kind of funny. So then we transition once again to another section backstage where Cody's walking and he sees Sammy. So it's like, Cody, Sammy, and then Cody asks Sammy, have you seen Drew? Sammy says, nope. Cody says, I couldn't help but to hear what you said out there. Apparently here, but it's out to get me. Kind of sound like Raven, that one promo Raven did. I'm not paranoid, but everyone's out to get me. Look up that promo, y'all. Great Raven promo. Sammy tells him, listen, dog, like, I respect you. I like you. Who was the first one in the ring when you won the title? That was me. But, dog, you gotta understand where I'm coming from. And Cody's about to say something, but then Nick Aldis, like, interrupts. And Cody is like, Nick, have you seen Drew? Cody's like, I'm calm, I'm cool, but we need to handle this. And I'm going to the ring right now. And then we go to commercial. We come back from commercial and they're talking about fan signs, and they start talking about how over Jey Uso is and how everybody's yeeting and whatnot. How in a 76ers game, which if you don't know, the 76ers is a basketball team, like everyone was yeeting. So yeah, apparently Jay's still over. Or at least the yeeting is over. From there we get a promo of NXT champion Obafemi. So apparently he's getting called up, like I said earlier. So there we go. He's apparently gonna be a free agent as the champion, unless he loses it before he gets called up. After the promo, we're back in the arena and Cody's making his entrance. And Cody starts his promo, and at this point, I'm checked out. Like, I can't stand Cody Rhodes promo. Like, between him and John Cena, they're just so yappy. They talk. Like, they could make a fucking promo. They could make what should be like a 2-minute talking, like, into like 15 minutes. Like, and I know that's supposed to be a good thing, but everything feels so long and drawn out, and I don't know, like I said, yappy and talky. Like, no, just say what you gotta say and be done with it. Like, yeah, move on. I hate Cody Rhodes' promo. I like him. I was happy when he won the title. I wish it was done a different way, you know, like not to appease the fans and whatever, because it shouldn't happen at WrestleMania. It should have happened at Madison Square Garden. He should have finished the story then and whatever. Like, be just like his dad. Like, win it where his dad didn't. But, you know, he's been an okay champion. I'm being honest, like, I don't like his run. Anyway, apparently Drew is tired of his shit too, because he pops up on Titantron. He finally shows up. And no one noticed this at first until he pointed it out. He's right in front of Cody's bus. And the whole issue is that Drew beat up Cody inside his bus. His home away from home, as he put it. Where his family sleeps and all that. That's why Cody is so upset. But yeah, apparently Drew went in there again without Cody noticing and whatever. Like, he used his bathroom, he stole some shit. But Drew basically says the reason he chose this stipulation is because Cody's father, Dusty, right? He would always settle his feuds with matches that were 2 out of 3 falls, which basically that's what this is. But Drew stepped it up by making it 3 stages of hell, and like each fall is a different match. So yeah, basically it's all Dusty thing all over again. Everyone always tries to mess with Cody in the name of Dusty. The reality of things too, which is funny, everybody loves Dusty, so kind of honor him. So yeah, not really disrespectful. Me personally, I wouldn't done it, but you know, it's a wrestling thing. Anyhow, he gets into the stipulations, right? So the first fall is gonna be just a straight up wrestling match. According to him, the refs are not gonna mess with him because the refs know what are gonna happen to them. Basically saying he's gonna beat the ref's ass if he doesn't like call it down the middle. So then he says fall number 2. Fall number 2 is gonna be falls count anywhere. So he tells them, if you want to DDT me again on the title, if that's what Cody did last time to win, you could very well do that. But keep in mind, I can use any sort of weapon I want. You know, so it falls count anywhere. You know, so that fall will be anywhere. I don't know if it's in the building or the arena or in Berlin. This is gonna happen in Berlin. And he said for fall number 3, if somehow, some way they make it to fall number 3, what he wants, and if you listen to the wording, like it's gonna be something special. At least I hope so. Me and Viral Viper like spoke about this, and he even said it. Like he's the one that brought it to my attention. Like this is not a me thing. He brought it to my attention, and I kind of want it too. Drew McIntyre said he wants an old school steel cage match. Now, Viral Viper said he's got, I hope it is a blue cage from back in the 80s and whatever, 80s and like early 90s and whatever. And I totally agree with him, because he said old school steel cage. It's either that one or the black one, but I hope it is the blue one. That would be so freaking awesome, especially like overseas in like Berlin and all that. Like that would like be so good. And Drew points out that he's gonna beat him, but that's only if he's still champion next week. Because if Cody hits him, puts one finger on him before their match, he's stripped of the title. And he's basically gonna teach him anger management or whatever. Like keep him calm. He tells him, as I said, he went into his bus, his home away from home, his words, and everything I said, like he touched all his stuff, he took a dump in his bathroom, and he stole something. He took a picture of Dusty and Cody when Cody was younger. Basically when Cody was a rookie. So yeah, he had that picture, and you see Cody's face, like he is pissed. He is like raging inside. And then Drew has the funniest thing that if you're not paying attention to what he said, you wouldn't catch it. He says he wishes Dusty was here so he could see the man Cody has become. But he knows that Dusty is looking up at him. Like, what the hell? Looking up? Like, I hope y'all got that. And basically after that, he basically confirmed what he was saying, talking about he thinks Dusty is in hell. So, yeah. And how Dusty would be ashamed of him and whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, then Drew breaks the picture frame and like stomps it with his foot. Cody, in the rage, he runs to the back. Everyone's telling him, Cody, no, Cody, no. Everyone's trying to hold him back, and like they're trying to stop him because, again, if he puts one finger on him, Cody's done. He's stripped of the title. Now, my only question is, if he were to hit Drew, right, and Cody gets stripped of the title, does it go to Drew, or is it just vacant and like we have to do a tournament or something for that belt? It's a question. Like, comment y'all opinion on that. Anyway, as Cody's in the back arguing with everybody, out of nowhere, Drew's in the ring, where Cody just was with a trash can. And Drew's like, Cody, like trying to call him out back to the ring. He tells him, you might want to come back to the ring, buddy. I'm waiting for you. So security stops Cody, and Drew takes out a lighter and sets the picture on fire. Which is hilarious because like it didn't instantly burn. Like it took a minute. Like it was like that paper like burn proof or something. So yeah. But eventually it like he burned it and Cody was pissed. But like again, he can't hit Drew. And everyone was holding him back. So Drew gets really close to Cody and he's basically goading him to hit him. Like hit me. And he's talking mad shit. And Cody's dying to hit him, and everyone's holding him. you know damn well Cody could like break through all that security and like attack Drew. It just like, you know, Cody might be being smart about this. Like, he's gonna wait till next week. So we come back from commercial, they recap everything that happened with Cody and Drew. And then they run down everything that's gonna happen next week with 3 Stages of Hell, with Phoenix versus Trick on Trick's debut, and the MFTs versus the White Six, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we have that. And then we go into the women's United States title match, which is Chelsea Green with Alba Fire against the former champion Giulia, and in her corner is Kiana James. Keep in mind all the names I just mentioned because all that is important. Now from the get-go, this is kind of weird because, again, Chelsea Green's a champion, but she came out first. Typically, for those of you that don't know, champion always comes out last. Like, that's like kind of tradition at this point. Like, champion always comes out last. But for some reason, and like, probably already reading the reason right now, he came out like first. So, yeah. Now, Giulia was beating Chelsea's ass there for a minute until Alba caused a distraction and, like, you know, Chelsea came back. So, yeah. Then Chelsea started to beat Giulia's ass for a while. The funny part about it, at this point, the fans started chanting for Chelsea. And even Michael Cole pointed it out, like, what is wrong with these fans? Like, they're cheering for Chelsea. I guess Chelsea's over, like, I don't know, maybe face turn eventually? Like, not anytime soon, but in the eventual sense. Anyhow, then Giulia started to come back, started to beat Chelsea's ass. Chelsea was getting her ass beat, but then he mounted a comeback and, like, she started to beat Giulia's ass again. So, another match that, you know, went back and forth. So, this shit's awesome. I feel like they really went in on each other in like a strong style type of match. At one point, Chelsea hit the Rough Rider / Radio Silence on Giulia. And if you don't know, she's actually Zack Ryder's / Matt Cardona's wife in real life. So, you know, that's why that happened. But she hit the move, went for the pin. However, the referee got distracted by Kiana James. And like, the referee was distracted for a good minute until Alba Fire stepped in and like attacked Kiana James. The end came when Chelsea Green climbed the top rope slowly, and then Giulia basically caught her, did a double underhook suplex off the top rope, held her, picked her up, and did a Michinoku driver. It was kind of like Seth Rollins's moves where he does like a move, I want to say it's like a suplex off the top rope, and then he does a front suplex like right after. It was something similar to that. But yeah, she hit that shit. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, a new WWE Women's United States Champion, Giulia. So we cut to the back where they're interviewing Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and they're talking about their match on Monday against the Tag Team Champions Kabuki Warriors. And they're basically talking about they're going to be champions. And they get interrupted by Charlotte and Alexa. And more or less they said, you know, good luck, but we're next. You know, kind of on friendly terms, but we are next. So, yeah. I just hope this thing becomes a multi-team thing. Maybe like a woman's TLC match. That would be pretty awesome. Like, do something interesting with this, because yeah, like facing this team and then that team and then that team, like, I don't know, I don't like that. Like, just all of them are interacting, might as well put them all in one match and just be done with it. But that's just me. From here, we cut to a video package showcasing the long-running feud between Aleister Black and Damian Priest. Apparently this has been going on for 6 months. It feels way longer. I hope this is the end of it, and it's gonna be an ambulance match, and it is the main event. So yeah, from here they go to commercial, and when we come back from commercial, we have Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano talking, and Johnny still has Axiom's mask that him and Candice stole, and of course Axiom and Nathan Frazier confront him and talking mad shit to him, and yeah, Like that's the thing. Like Frexium and DIY have to have a match against each other. But apparently, like I'm guessing Tommaso Ciampa's hurt. So yeah. Frexium basically says like, listen dog, I want my mask back. Like it's a new year, just give me my mask back. Johnny's like, no, this was a gift from my wife. If you want it back, then he hands it to her, take it from her. Segment ends with Axiom being pissed off and he's like, listen, I'm gonna talk to Nick Aldis and I'm gonna ask for a match. And when the match is over, I'm taking my mask back. Mind you, he has another mask on, so I never understood the point of you steal a luchador's mask, but he has another mask on. Like, fuck it, keep it. I have like many more, who cares? But it is what it is, so I guess they're gonna fight for the mask. Would be cool if they had like a ladder match or something like that for the mask. Just my opinion. And finally from here we go into our main event of the evening, which is an ambulance match, Aleister Black versus Damian Priest. So we have Aleister Black's entrance. Now is it just me or does Zelina kind of ruin this entrance? Like, I don't like it with her in it. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against her. I like her. I just don't like her in this entrance. Then Damon makes his way to the ring and I can't stand his music. I hate his music. However, he had a pretty good entrance and whatnot. Like, he came out to like, look like a Dracula or whatever, like he had wings. Not the corny wings that Dragon Lee would have. Like, he actually looked like an actual bat. Like, that looked kind of cool. Like, in the shadow, like the silhouette of him. So, yeah, I kind of appreciated that. But for God's sakes, change your music. Go back to the old one. Not your Judgment Day one, mind you. The one before it. I'm being honest, I love the show, but this is probably the lowest point of the whole show. And it's bad because it was the main event. Like, I was not interested in this match at all. So, yeah, like, it was like some points there, like noteworthy and whatever. Not even good, but noteworthy. Like, for instance, like, the whole time I'm thinking, okay, Zelina came out with Aleister. Where's Rhea? Where's Damian's backup or whatever? Because he's in the building. She should be there with her quote-unquote brother, her Terror Twin brother. So, yeah, where is she? It turns out, like, halfway through the match, Aleister tells Zelina to open the ambulance door so they could put Priest in there. And it turns out Rhea Ripley was in the ambulance. So that's why she didn't accompany him to the ring. Another noteworthy thing is all this, they say it started with a fireball, but it was way before this, like with R-Truth and all that. But it started with a fireball that Aleister threw in Damian's face, and basically Damian got payback and threw one in Aleister's face. So that was the only really like noteworthy things and whatever. They beat each other's asses and whatever. Nothing I really cared about. And yeah, Damian won this. So I guess happy at the end of this. Like, Damian got his revenge, and I hope it's over after this. So now that we're at the end of the show, basically gonna tell you what I liked and didn't like, and what I basically rate this episode. So, like, the whole Miz thing in the beginning of the show, I did not like. I appreciated Randy coming back. Like, after this, it's gonna be awesome. But the whole tiny balls thing, give it a rest. Like, it's done. No more tiny balls jokes. Like, no, I hated that. But Randy being back, awesome. That first match, that 8-woman tag, it was awesome. I loved it. I just feel as which it should have been like a 4-way for the titles. Hopefully that winds up on a paper, because like, yeah, you can't have this much dysfunction and dissension between all these teams, and they all dislike each other in some sense, and they all want the titles, and you don't have all them face each other. Like, this would be a perfect opportunity for like I said earlier, like a TLC match with the women, which I believe they've never had before. So yeah, do that. Hit Wilson versus Matt Cardona. Love the fact that Matt Cardona's back. Like, hopefully they do something with him, and especially do something with Kit Wilson. Like, at least feature him a lot more. Like, he doesn't have to win a title. Just want to see a lot more of him. He's enjoyable. So that's the thing. I wonder what they're gonna do with his tag team partner when he comes back with, like, from injury. Are they officially broken up? Are they gonna face each other maybe? Are they gonna get back together? I want to see what happens. So yeah, but that I like. The whole White Six versus the MFTs. I love the White Six. Like, it's my type of thing. Like, I love gimmicks, y'all. Like, I hate the whole, like, they gotta be relatable and all that. Like, I'm a gimmick guy. Like, that's probably why I like Hit Wilson, because like it's a gimmick. But like, yeah, like this whole feud, I'm not feeling it. So hopefully they break them up and whatever. One team goes one way, the other team goes up. So yeah, I'm not feeling that. It should have, the match should have happened tonight and just be done with it. But we're doing it next week. That whole interaction between Trick and Sami Zayn, I liked it. I'm just dreading the fact that Trick is gonna interact with Carmelo eventually, and like, yeah, again, I want them to stay away from each other. But you know, they could be in the same show as long as they're away from each other. Like, this would be good for Trick. Like, go against Sammy. Hopefully, like, nothing against Trick, but hopefully Sammy wins and he tries to go for the title and wins it eventually. Carmelo Hayes in his first defense against Johnny Gargano, this was a banger. I love this match. Like, nothing really I could say about this match. I love this match. That interaction between Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill, that has me interested. Like, I want to see that match. So yeah, if you're gonna call up Jordan Grace, put her on SmackDown so she could go against Jade Cargill. That's something I want to see. Cody confronting Sammy, that also was interesting because slowly but surely, like, I'm seeing more and more like Cody getting pissed off and eventually becoming a heel because everybody's turning against him. You know, in his perspective, just everybody wants the title. So yeah, that's the thing. So that's something to look forward to later too, because I don't like this version of Cody. If he becomes a heel, I might like him more. Hopefully, we'll see. That promo over Femi, I'm kind of excited. I want to see where he winds up, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. Because like, he pretty much done everything in NXT, so he could come up. It's fine. Next, we have Mr. Yappy, aka Cody. I hated his promos. I hated this whole thing. Like, the saving grace of this whole segment was Drew. You know, like pissing off Cody and like him talking his shit. Like, he's good at talking shit. Like, he's a great heel. He's probably one of the best heels right now in WWE. So like, I love that shit. Like, Drew made this segment worth it. Hopefully he beats Cody for the title. His picks for 3 States of Hell, like, I guess they're okay. As long as the cage match, as I said earlier, is the classic blue cage. If it's that, you have gold here. Then you had the women's WWE United States Championship match. Like, I love both women. They both can go, but I didn't expect this match to be this good. This was pay-per-view caliber in my opinion. So yeah, like, props to them. Like, this shit was really fucking good. This actually probably should have been the main event, in my honest opinion. Like, fuck the ambulance match. And funny enough, as I said, fuck the ambulance match, because that's the next match I'm like reviewing. Like, I did not like this match at all. Like, no, this shouldn't have been the main event. Like, I was bored, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I liked everything except for like this and the Cody promo, which it was just a promo, so like it didn't like put it all the way down. But this match kind of took like a half a point away. So I probably would say like the show, to me, in my opinion, was a 9.5. But yeah, like, wherever you're watching this, like, comment and tell me what you thought about this show. The first SmackDown of 2026, and yeah, with the brought back to 3 hours and all that. So I prefer SmackDown in 3 hours. Again, tell me what do you think about this. Tell me what you think about every match. And yeah, y'all, this is my first podcast on my own. I hope I didn't do too poorly. And, you know, I hope y'all enjoyed. And, like, until next time, y'all. Peace.